Hello, welcome to Leadership Advancement Mentorship Podcast. This is a special edition, and today, for the first time on this podcast, I will be focusing on parenting. And parenting is a very, very unique focus that I believe that needs to be addressed. And to really help us with this, we're bringing again our very special friend, Coach Mute Olori. And she was on the podcast last week, and many people really enjoy what she did on Find Yourself and Grow Yourself. But today, we are going to our strength zone because this for her is a passion that she has carried. And she founded the Parenting Transformation. But listen, not the way you think, because our own spelling is different. The way she spelled parenting is so weird, very weird. And she's going to be explaining that to us, breaking in. I love concept. So this is your host, Dr. Michael Koku, bringing to you our special guest, Coach Mute Olori. Coach Mute Olori, you are welcome. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Koku. Thank you so much. And I'm glad to be here again and again and again. So I'm adding advance, But thank you very much
Glad
for
to have
having
you.
me.
Glad to have you back. And today we'll be focusing on the parenting. And we'll be talking about this parenting, because I believe that parenting is a huge responsibility. And but there's been a lot of pandemic, and this is a global pandemic, of parenting. And you see, I was listening to it was like it was a news. From the news, they take a story. You remember that stuff that I sent to you about a little boy? He was
Yes,
6 years old, and the teacher was asking him, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" He said, "He want to be a murderer. That he want to kill people." And I just remind that this is really pathetic, because these kids as a parent, and he really mean it. He wasn't playing. He has a picture of what he want to do in the future. Now, I want to ask you, as someone that has done a lot of work on the parenting space, what it's your take about parenting? Because when you talk about parenting can be right or wrong. I believe a lot of parents find themselves with parents, and because there's no such thing as a parenting licensing examination. So they just find themselves a parent. They don't even know what it takes to be a parent, and they don't even know how to handle that transition, of now having that responsibility of really giving direction. I was just talking to a parent now, for real. I was just talking to someone now on Zoom. She told me when her children were 13-year old, they were telling her that she needs to start talking to them as an adult, that she needs to go and read books that will help her to help them. I said, wow, because I was asking her that how this woman, she's more than 60 now. Because I was really asking her that, how did you get into personal growth? How did you, because I saw she has a love and affection for personal growth. I said, where did this start? She said it started with her children challenging her when they were teenagers, and said from that time, there was no looking back for her, So tell us, what has been your own take, and what have you been in your own experience dealing with parents? And what has been your own personal story and personal journey, in the parenting space? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for that question. Because parenting is something that people used to believe that once you are able to father or mother a child, you're automatically a parent. But over time, we've come to find out that there is more to parenting than just being, like we say, a sperm donor or a carrier, because now we have surrogate parents and surrogates who carry pregnancy and then they have the children. That does not make them be a parent. So we have been able to debunk that myth, and now we have come to accept the fact that for you to be a parent, you have to have a skill. It's something that is learned. You have to unlearn a lot of things and learn how to become a parent. Because that person you're parenting is not an object. It's a human being that has flesh, blood, emotions. We call them a little human being. So you have to learn how to parent. Parenting has to do with nurturing. Parenting has to do with care. Okay, so, and it doesn't end in when these children are babies. So when I talk about transformational parenting, what that thing came in that the work starts when they become teenagers. But the preparation is while they are still young, or while you are even nurturing the idea that you want to have children. So when you are dating, I think it's part of the curriculum people should need to understand while they're going for counseling, in marriage counseling. I think the marriage counselors should begin to talk about parenting. What are your ideas, about how you want to raise your children? It's a collective responsibility. And so for God to give you the power to carry a child to term and to birth that child means God has given you power to bring into being another life. So with great power comes responsibility. And with great responsibility comes accountability.
Wow.
Can you be trusted? Like, when God said, Abraham, I know that he would teach his children the values and the ordinances. Can God say to you, who gave it to you? Because you're just like a caretaker. So as a parent, you have to pay rent to the owner, who is God. So will he trust you to be able to keep the values and the principles to raise another human being to add value to society?
Wow.
So parenting has come to the foremost in recent times because it has become a pandemic. The vices we're experiencing, the invention of social media and the internet into our space has also made us to realize or to observe if we were good parents or not.
Wow.
So there are many things we used to do which does not work anymore. There was a time you parent as do what I say and not what I do. These days, it does not work. Children will only do what you as a parent do, not only what you say.
Wow.
So in my time growing up, my parents could say, don't speak when I'm speaking. Keep quiet, listen. But in this generation, you have to teach your children to speak. Not only because they need to speak to you when you're answering them, asking questions, but there are a lot of things going on. That a silent child is a silent destiny.
Wow.
But a child who can speak up, then you know that is a destiny that will always go out there to excel and cannot be shut down.
Wow.
So parenting has become more of a work, more of a skill that needs to be learned than just having children and telling them where to go to.
Wow. I like your take on this. Listen, we just started. I've gotten a page full. And I like what you said, that with great power come responsibility, and with responsibility comes accountability. President Theodore Roosevelt said, to educate a man, and I believe that can apply to a child, in mind and not in morals, is to educate a menace to the society. And I was privileged to have crossed continent, and I was born and raised in Nigeria, Africa. But when I came into America 15 years ago, I was in North Carolina before I moved to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where Jesus lives. And I say that a lot. So when I came over here, I was privileged to work at Salvation Army. And I was working in an after-school program. It's a community area. And I learned a lot about parenting. I work with kids. I work with parents. In fact, we even have a parenting class. That was the first time I realized that, wow, parents even need to go to class. I know the man that does the parenting class because I'm the one that mobilized parents to be in that class, fill up the class. He would just come and take the class. I know him. I have a relationship with him. His name is Dr. King. And I realized that, wow, there's a need for parents to take a class, like you said. With what you have said, I consider parenting as driving a car. You don't say, oh, I'm grown, I can just go and get a car and drive. No.
And drive.
You have to learn how to drive.
How to.
Exactly. Otherwise, you will be a disaster going somewhere to happen.
Exactly. Unfortunately, it's not just you being a disaster. Everyone around you will become a disaster. Because when an accident happens, it doesn't really just affect only you, but it affects every other person that is around you at that time.
Exactly. And I like what you said, the way you presented it. It's a skill set that needs to be acquired. But the good news is it's a learnable skills. If parents are humble. I remember then when
and ready to be teachable.
Exactly.
That is the major problem with parents. I was sharing with you some time ago. I said it was a space I really never wanted to go. But I see how devastating it is when you empower a child and the child gets back home to an unempowered, non-transformed parents. So it's like the child going back to square one, or being frustrated because they have a parent who does not know how to help them move from where they are, where you stop as a teacher or as a mentor or as a coach, to go to the next level. Whether we like it or not, parents spend more time with children than us. Okay, I will break it down. More time could be in school with your teacher, but these are academic times. But when it comes to the time of mentoring, when it comes to the time of leadership, when it comes to that emotional, mental time, it is you as a parent that spends that time, much more time with the children. In school, they are more focused on their education. But you see, education does not make the totality of a human being. So that's where you as a parent come in to take care of the other parts that makes a wholesome child. And if you cannot get it right, you have the spiritual part, you have the emotional part, you have the mental part. If you cannot take care of these other parts, and then we're also talking about this other area where you talk about morals. If you as a parent cannot handle these other parts, the educational part they get from school is not and will never be enough to raise a child that will be of a value to society.
In fact, you just strike a chord because that area that I talk about that President Theodore Roosevelt says to educate a child in mind and not in morals is to educate a menace to the society. Now, for instance, I live in Philadelphia. Of recent, something happened last Tuesday, and there was a judge that vindicated a particular police officer, and after shooting someone, and the case was dismissed, and people were not really happy. So people were really protesting. Of course, people have a right to protest, but this will happen based on antecedents. People take advantage of that situation. Guess what they did? And we have an organized flash mob. They went into Apple store. They went into, for real, liquor store, and they went into there's a place called Lulu Lemon. They sell clothes. They went into there and started stealing. Guess what?
So what has that?
I mean, just see this. Out of 52 people arrested, only 3 were adults. The rest were just youths.
Teenagers, juveniles, young people.
That's why I said
have a misconception.
Exactly. I addressed this yesterday in the church, and the main thing I want you to know is this is a real pandemic. what I was doing in Salvation Army then, I realized it's a moral issue. There were just kids that it was in the foster kids. And all A's. Academically, he was sound, but he has attitude issue. And I knew, you talk to him, he doesn't listen and all that stuff. And kids can be smart academically, but if they don't get it behaviorally, it's going to affect them. One day, he was in the school bus and he jumped out of the school bus in emotion. And they have to take him to somewhere called 302. 302 is where they check someone for mental issues and all that. So what I want to say is these issues, and this is why, and Coach Monte, we started, we're launching the PAL. The PAL is Parent Empowered Academy for Right Leadership. And for the first time this year, December 16, we'll be doing the first Parent Empowered Annual Global Conference. We just had a conference for the Women in Leadership League. See, everything we launch in this LAMP global community is to solve a problem, and Coach Mute happened to be the PR director. She has two other directors working with her, and the reason why I just mentioned is that Coach Mute, can you just sensitize the audience the role of PL in helping out, because we can talk about the problem all day. Everybody's already aware. We're not saying anything new when we talk about the parental crisis. But our focus,
it's there. It's a pandemic, it's a problem.
Yeah.
And we are saying we have
the solution. Good. So we speak to that. Talk about the expectation for the upcoming conference. December 16th.
Yes. Thank you very much. And I am a director. I'm the director, but you need to understand and you need to know that the vision behind this peer is no other person than Dr. Mike Koku. He knows how to think. And he knows how to hunt for, the best. Because there are so many, go online, there's so many people saying things about parenting. But what are they saying? You can only be who you follow.
Yeah.
You can only be who you're listening to.
Yeah.
The people that are feeding your mind, just the way they're feeding the minds of the children with all kinds of junks. The people feeding people with all manner of things. And so that's why we came in to see how we can bridge the gap, how we can come in, to give you the right values. Now, what peer is going to be doing for you is not to teach you the how to parent. We are coming to equip you for you to be the better version of yourself, to nurture you, so that you can be transformed and be in a place that you are able and capable to help your children, to mentor them, to parent as a coach, because sometimes we are too emotional, and we see the wrong. Oh, I've seen an example of parents that said to me, Coach Mita, I need you to talk to my child because I don't know what is wrong with this child. I don't know where he's going. The way he's going is going to disaster. His life, he's just wasting his life. Now, for a parent who will attend peer, who have been empowered, you will not speak like that. You will try to understand your child because you have been there. You know your limitations. You know what has been happening to you. So you are able to empathize with your child. And you begin to nurture the child, just like a coach will not be rude or insulting to you, but a coach will empathize with you and then walk you through a process. So in peer, we're going to help you as a parent to understand that you are a leader. And leadership is influence.
Yes.
There is no point in life where your child should get to a position where you cannot talk to the child, you cannot mentor or lead the child.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the unity of a family.
Yeah.
So in peer, we're going to be helping you. And the theme for this year, Coach Michael, the theme that we're using for this year is parenting out of an overflow.
Oh, wow.
How does it mean to parent from an overflow? An overflow occurs when there's a transformation in the position of you as a parent or in your position. So when this transformation overrides that position as a parent, then you become equipped with the right tools and the right skills to be aware of who you are as a person, nurture that person, and be able to help your child or help those around you to be better.
Wow.
So parenting as a leader, we will teach you things about that has to do with your emotion. We will teach you how to have a positive attitude towards nurturing your environment and people within your family.
Wow, that was awesome.
We're going to be, exactly, and we're going to be helping you. You see, a lot of parents are suffering from the way they were raised, which was negative and have negative effect on them. If you don't purge yourself, you will continue to parent from the place of fear. If you don't deal with those negative energies, if you don't deal with the pain that comes from the past, there is no way you will be prepared and nurtured and strong enough to be able to raise your child. And when they're going through their own process, you won't be able to, you'll just be seeing the negativity. You know, there is a period in a child's life. Now, UNICEF has said that a teenager is regarded as any child from the age of 10. Before, it used to be 15. They moved it to 13, and now it is 10 years.
Wow.
So that means the metabolic growth of a child, you know, from 10 is as what you would experience when you were 15. Probably in my time at 15, I didn't have breasts. You know, there were some of us at 13, 14, 15, we were not menstruating. But in this age and time, because of the food, doctor, you know these things more than I do. Because of the food, because of the things we are exposed to, because of sometimes the radios or whatever comes from the internet, from the gadgets we use, these things have changed a lot of human form. So you find children as early as 10, 11 developing big bust and also have they can see the menstrual period, or the boys are experiencing what do you call it? What do you call it?
Puberty.
What's the word now, doctor? What they experience, I think, wet dreams.
Wet dreams.
Wet dreams. They are beginning to have all those things. And then, if you are not equipped as a parent to understand that your child is going to pass through these different levels and categories of life during the adolescence, because they become teenagers and become youth, if you're not equipped, you won't know what to do. Then when they get to teenagehood, this is a period of questioning. They question everything. They don't question it because they are undermining your authority. So in peer, we're going to teach you to understand that when they question you, it's not questioning you, but they're questioning because they want to know. So when, as a parent, you have that mindset, okay, when these children ask these questions, why? It's because they want to know. Then you will take every moment as a teachable moment to
That's
teach,
awesome.
to nurture them. But
That's
that can only come from a place of transformation.
And
so
overflow.
Empowered academy for right
leadership. Wow.
Today, society is suffering from bad
leadership. Yeah.
So the thing we are missing is leadership.
And you're 100% right, Coach Moto. Like I said, my experience in the Salvation Army space. And in fact, one time we started a campaign called NFL, because NFL in this American context is the National Football League. And I got that NFL from the scripture. You know, I like to speak to culture using what people already know. So, and the NFL concept was no foul language.
And
like I said, for real, I pull it out from the scripture, Amplified Bible. And we now created a concept as people are coming into the program that you are entering into the NFL zone.
No foul language zone.
No foul language. So the little kids, they caught hold of it. So when they go home, like I said, the place that they go home, so when they found out their parents are cursing using foul language, they'll say, Grandma, NFL. And the kids are like, I don't like football. What are you talking about? Because when people hear NFL, they just think about football. And the kids will say like, no foul language. And the grandma will just do like this. Because they knew that the kids just caught them. So we were able to drive a positivity so that the kids knew it. Do you get me? They knew it. So it's been a code, and they are aware of what is right and what is wrong. That's why we talk about parent empowered. We're not trying to teach you that, oh, you don't know how to parent. No, listen, we're just encouraging you that, listen, they are just like driving skills. I mean, you don't drive a car because you've grown. Because the thing that people will tell you that I'm grown, how dare you want to teach me how to parent? Listen, it's not about that. It's all about you.
And when you even start driving, you start as a learner.
Yeah.
And then as you keep driving, you keep learning, you keep moving, you keep experiencing things as you go on your way.
Exactly.
You become better.
And their skills level. There's some skills that cannot get you into the highway. That skills can just allow you to drive around some safe part of town. But if you want to get to the highway, for instance, my wife,
you have to get the certification.
Like my wife, she knows how to drive. She can drive now, but she's not ready for the highway yet. So we're talking about highway parenting. That's what the world needs now, because the parenting right now is not for information. Parenting is for interpretation, because your children, they have information. They have Google. They have all these things that we don't have when we are growing up. So what they need from you as a parent is interpretation. How to interpret the information that they are getting.
And you can't interpret, doctor, if you're not in their space.
Exactly. So you have to learn.
So you learn to learn. That is it.
That's good.
And learning is continuous.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me take myself as an example. There was a time my kids were younger. And then they move into their teens age. Today, I'm learning more how to parent young adults who are in their 20s. And not only that, in the next 3-4 years, I may just be giving out one of them in marriage. Now, how do I parent a child who is going into marriage? How do I now begin to handle the grandchildren?
Yeah.
You see, it is continuous.
Yeah.
So we need to keep updating ourselves. We need to keep moving. And the best thing to do as a parent is being ahead of your child.
Yeah.
So that's where the place of reading, the place of attending conferences where you need to learn.
Exactly.
And we don't only teach you here, we also encourage you to implement the things you have learned.
Yeah.
And I think that is where the struggle is also for a lot of parents.
Yeah. So Coach,
and that's why we're saying empowering you for right leadership.
Coach, I wanted to speak to December 16, Parent Empowered Annual Global Conference. It's going to be an annual. This is the first of its kind. I'm so excited about this. And Coach Mute, you've been working so hard with the speakers, and we have been great speakers like Gina White and Deborah Hart,
and Angela
Tim
Brown
and Angela Brown. I tell you, it's gonna be great. This is a power pack team. Amazing. And guess what? It's FFREE. It's gonna be free, and so
that's it. And during the festive season, and that's on the 16th of December 2023. 16th of December. So whatever you do, we're informing you now. Mark your date. It's a 1 day and 4 hours. Doctor?
3.5 hours event.
3.5 hours. And
Coach Mute, tell them what to expect from that meeting, why they need to be in that meeting. Tell them.
Now let me start by saying it's non-denominational.
Yeah.
So that parenting does not understand tribe, does not understand race, does not understand color. Parenting is a universal word.
It's a global thing.
When you're coming in here, you're coming to learn the skills, the values, and how to equip yourself and transform yourself. So there's a lot of things you're going to be expecting. We have different sessions. We have the keynote panel sessions where you're going to be listening to our guest speakers pour out themselves. These are speakers who have experience working with parents and working with young people over the years, 20, 30, 40 years. So they'll be sharing those experiences and secrets on how to, get into the secret jackets of your children. Children, they always have this no-go zone. Do not enter. But we'll teach you how to enter without seeing as if you are entering. And then they'll be inviting you in. We also have our session where we're going to be
panel discussion.
The discussion session where your questions, because you're going to be sending in questions. Yeah. So your questions, we're going to deal with your questions. So you're not coming in to come and just learn. You're coming in with an expectation. You're coming in with your questions. You're coming in with an intention of having something solved, answered. Or giving solution to. So you're going to be sending in questions as we go on. Those information will be sent to you. So once you see the advert, please click and make sure you tell us what you want us to handle or deal with, what you are going through, so that we'll be able to help you. So when we get to that discussion session, we're going to do a lot of justice to that so that we help you to get clarity in your parenting journey.
Yeah, and that's good.
Is there any other thing I've missed out, Coach?
No, for real. It's that package of the panel discussion and the keynote is going to be key. And if you'll be watching this podcast on YouTube, Coach Mute, I'm going to do something special. And this is being recorded Monday, October 2nd. But this podcast will be released Tuesday night, US time, like 8 p.m. But Coach Mute, guess what I'm going to do? I'll be putting the registration link right there for the early birds.
No excuses.
I know that's a lot of work for me, but I made a commitment now. I'm going to work towards it to get because we already have all the speakers confirmed. So then we'll take time to work on the flyer.
Parents need help, Coach. So this is fantastic. Once it's going out, no matter where you are in the world, we are having a flexible timing that you can join. And the truth is, we need help. A lot of parents need help. They are stuck. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. But it begins with us empowering you with the right leadership skills that you need. Because it's only leaders that go the way, show the way, and lead others the way.
Correct.
If you cannot equip yourself as a leader, you cannot lead others.
Exactly.
And no more. People don't follow you anymore because of titles. No. People want to follow you because of the value you carry and the value you want to put in their life. And the same thing with your children.
Exactly.
If they know more than you, they won't value you.
Yeah. And that's why parental authority must be equated with moral authority, because it's that morality that gives you an edge as a parent. And so we're really excited about this opportunity to have this maiden edition, and it's going to be great. Parenting out of an overflow, because when the speakers that are well-versed, well-equipped, well-exposed, and as they share those nuggets, I tell you, Tim and Angela Brown, they've been married for, more than close to 40. If you couple all those experiences together, you're gathering more than a century of experience with all these people coming together, and then
for free.
For free. Yeah, and that's our gift to you.
Free.
Yeah, that's our gift to you to help. It's not free because it's cheap. It's free because that's our own contribution and to this parental global pandemic. Thank you, Coach Mute, for your time today. I believe we've been able to really, parenting is not something you can talk about within a short time. It's a lot of things. But the good news is we have a solution. And that solution is what we are excited about at this Parent Empowered Annual Global Conference organized by the Parents Empowered Academy of Right Leadership. Coach Mute happens to be the PR directors working with other PR directors, Dr. Ayo Adenuga,
Yes.
and
Dr. Ayode, yes.
Mrs. Toyin Podicom. So it's going to be great. And also all the LAMP Global Community, the TLC, the LAMP Consortium, they are all in partnership. We're working with this project. Thank you for your time today.
And please, it's important that because the percentage of single parents is so high right now that the level of mental health issues and high blood pressure are really high among people who are single parenting. So if you're a single parent, please make sure you find yourself in this conference, because we're going to be giving you the support you need to be able to parent right.
And I like the way you did that, because when I was in Salvation Army space, there was so much single parents. I mean, many of them, I think almost 60% of the kids in the program, they came from single parenthood. So we're going to address that. Those are one of the areas we're going to really be big about. I mean, there's so many areas, like I said, it's going to be, the team is parenting out of an overflow, because one of the things parents are experiencing is burnout. They don't have clothes. They run out of ideas. Listen, we're going to equip you. And it's not just going to be just the conference. Even after the conference, we're going to have some incentives, some devotionals that we will be putting on our website to really help you further. It's going to be an ongoing planned by PL. PL is an entity of its own. PL is going to come up with things that we can and equip you with regularly to really help your journey. We want to partner with you. We want to collaborate with you. We can be we can parent your child for you, but we can help.
It takes a community.
Exactly.
Let's go back to those days where we're concerned about our neighbor. Be your brother's keeper.
Yeah.
But your brother needs to be equipped. So you need to invite your neighbor, you need to invite your brothers and sisters to come in. So that when you are not around, you know the values that others around you are giving to your children.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what's going to be like. We're going to come alongside with you to give you the helping hands that you need. Thank you, Coach Mute, for your time. Thank you for adding so much value in this second edition that is strictly really dedicated towards parenting, and that shows your love for parenting. You are not a philosopher, you are a practitioner. And thank you for all that you do, all your investment, that you're doing in the parental space. But this conference will take this to another level. Till I come your way next time with another quality, high octane, high protein guest. This is your host, Dr. Michael, signing off and letting you know that it's not enough for you to just hear this, but put it into application. Thank you. See you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you.